Mecca Masjid, Hyderabad. The erection of this imposing mosque was started by Sultan Muhammad Qutub Shah 1617 AD under the supervision of Dargah Mir Fazlullah Beg and Chanduri Rangayya alias Kunar Mat Khan with the help of nearly 8,000 masons and labourers. The work of its construction continued during the regime of Abdullah Qutub Shahi 1626 to 1672 and Abdul Hazan Tana Shah from 1672 to 1687 at the cost of 8 lakhs of rupees, and it was completed after 77 years by the Emperor Aurangzeb in 1694. When the emperor was requested for further decorations of the mosque, he read famous couplet. Transaction of the world has never been completed by anyone. Impose upon yourself as little as possible. When the foundation of this mosque was being laid, it is related by all the contemporary historians that Sultan Muhammad Qutub Shahi from 1612 to 1626 AD, after inviting the learned and pious men of the city, asked them to have the foundation stone laid by one who has never missed his prayers. But none from the assemblage having come forward, he himself laid the foundation stone by saying that he had never missed even his tahajjud, a prayer after midnight, ever since his 12th year. This is one of the most sublime and impressive mosques of the Deccan, and it is so extensive that nearly 10,000 men can easily say their prayers conjointly. The building is 225 feet long, 180 feet wide and 75 feet height. The outer enclosure is oblong, whose terrace is 360 feet each way. At a corner of the platform there is a cistern for ablution. The mosque is composed of triple vestibules measuring 195 feet into 126.8 with 15 arches in each row and 5 Masonic arches in front. The northern and southern extremities are surrounded by 2 large domes. The 2 lofty minarets in front of the main entrance gate and the sundial of the courtyard belong to the reign of Aurangzeb. The lofty colonnades and the prayer niche are fashioned out of one stone slab. According to Mons Tavernier, the stone for this niche was hewn out of the quarry by several hundred labourers in the course of 5 years, and 700 pairs of bullocks carried it to the mosque. One of the rooms of the courtyard contains the sacred hair of the Prophet and other sacred relics. Sultan Muhammad Qutub Shah named this mosque Baitul Atiq, a nickname given to the holy Kaaba in Mecca. In the time of Aurangzeb, it assumed the name of Mecca Masjid. It is estimated that the total expenses of this mosque was amounted to 30 lakhs of hunts. The following verse was composed by the poet and presented to the king in commemoration of its erection. If the pilgrimage going round of noble Kaaba is not attainable to thee, come and pray in the Kaaba of the Deccan. As regards the adoption of the name of Mecca Masjid, it is said that Qutb Shah had some bricks made from the earth of Mecca and were fixed over the central arch. The compilers of Tawarikhe Farkunda has given another version, that is, being the peculiarity of Kaaba that it is at no time devoid of pilgrims. So in the case with Mecca Masjid, that it has never been found without those who come to say their prayers, and for this reason the name of Mecca Masjid was spontaneously adopted by the public and became renowned all the world over. During the Qutb Shahi period, 36 meals of food was cooked and distributed to the poor every day, but during the reign of Aurangzeb, it was reduced to 12 meals per day. About 10 kilometers east of the city of Hyderabad, the foundation of a fort and city of Sultanagar was laid by Sultan Muhammad in 1624 AD. But owing to his premature death in 1625 AD, the work was abandoned for good. The chief monument of the reign of Sultan Muhammad Qutb Shahi was Mecca Masjid, and the first Qutb Shahi history, the Tarikh-e Sultan Muhammad Qutb Shahi, was compiled in this regime. Mecca Masjid ranks amongst the most impressive Qutb Shahi monuments. The prayer hall is 67 meters into 54 meters into 23 meters high. The roof is supported by 15 stone arches. There are two huge octagonal minarets at each end, which was crowned by the dome. There are 188 small windows provided below the roof level to have an overview of the prayer hall. The prayer hall consists of 5 by 3 enlarged bays, domed except for the central bay, which is provided with a pointed wall. Above the arched facade is a calm eye supported on brackets. This is flanked by two somewhat squat minarets with arcaded balconies and bulbous domes. Adjoining the mosque is an enclosure containing the graves of central rulers, prince and princesses of Asafia rulers. Sultan Muhammad Qutb Shah was more a lover of literature than a builder, and we have consequently only a few specimens of his architectural designs. The most important building which was planned in the capital is Mecca Masjid. Evidently, the Muslim population had grown by several folds since the foundation of the city by the Sultan's uncle. Trade and commerce was carried out with the east coast and with the outside world through Masulipatam. The era of peace, which was heralded with the occasion of the Sultan, must have increased the population of Hyderabad manifold. The religious consideration of the Sultan must also have contributed to the scheme of constructing a much larger place of worship than the existing mosque. The construction of the mosque was commenced in 1614. The work was continued right through the reign of the last two Qutb Shahis and completed long after the occupation of Hyderabad by Emperor Aurangzeb in 1692-93, the date which is inscribed on the front gate of the quadrangle. The mosque is comparatively a larger structure with few pretensions of embellishment, but its dimensions are almost staggering. Its roofed prayer hall is 225 feet long, 180 feet broad, and reaches a height of 75 feet. The three compartments into which the roofed portion is divided, measuring 195 feet into 22 feet into 126 feet. The domes supporting the roof are flat and are not visible from outside. There are 5 huge openings in front, crowned by graceful arches. The 6 pillars supporting these arches are 30 feet in height and 7.5 feet in width. And the remarkable thing about them is that they are all monolithic, hewn of solid rock. The mihr also is monolithic. French traveller Tavernier, who was in the Deccan some years after Sultan Muhammad's death, says, "Since 50 years they began to build a magnificent pagoda in the city, which would have been the finest in India had it been finished, where in the niche is made where they say their prayers in an entire rock of such prodigious bulk that it was 5 years before 5 or 6,000 men continuously employed could leave it out its place. It was rolled on an engine with wheels upon which they brought it to the pagoda, and several affirmed it to me that there were 1,400 oxen to draw it." It was related that as many as 2,000 stone cutters, 2,000 masons, and 4,000 laborers worked at the building project. In spite of this, the mosque could not be completed in Sultan Muhammad's time, and the finishing touches had to be deferred till 5 years after Mughal conquest. Many stories have found favor round the mosque. The story that the Sultan fixed the foundation stone because he had not missed the Tajud or pre-morn prayers even once since he attained his majority. The name Mecca Masjid is said to have been given to the mosque because Sultan had some earth brought from Mecca and ordered that it should be mixed with local earth and bricks he modeled from it. These were reddened by some amalgam and now adorn 24 panels just beneath the parapet wall in front. It is also possible that this might have led the court chronographer to have brought out the date of commencement of the project from the chronogram Baitul Atiq, which is another name the Kaha and means the ancient house. The Kaha is called by this name in the Quran because it is regarded as the oldest structure dedicated to the worship of one God and was originally constructed by the Prophet Abraham. The principal is the Mecca Masjid, situated near Charminar. Its dimensions are as follows: length 225 feet, breadth 180 feet, and height 75 feet. The mosque occupies a vast paved quadrangle 360 feet square on one side. The roof is supported on 15 arches and is surrounded by huge domes which rise to 100 feet above it. The building is one of the largest masjids in this part of India and is visible at a great distance from the city. It is capable of accommodating a vast concourse of prayers. During the Mohammedan festivals at various periods of the year, as many as 10,000 people assemble here for prayers. The construction of the mosque was commenced by Muhammad Qutb Shah, but he died before its completion, and the work was carried on under his successors, Abdullah Qutb Shah, and later under Abdul Hasan Tana Shah, who however was sent into captivity by the Emperor Aurangzeb before the work was finished. Aurangzeb is said to have inspected the masjid and ordered that the work which remained unfinished should be completed.